In a world that is becoming increasingly confusing, the study of Islamic history becomes even more crucial to our Muslim identity. With that said, unfortunately, there are only a few Muslim historians whose work is available in English today, and even fewer who teach Islamic history from an Islamic perspective. Many who do delve into Islamic history often interpret it through the lenses of liberalism, neglecting the deen completely. But enough of this nonsense. The time has come for Muslims to study their own history and reclaim their identity. In this video, we will explore 3 compelling reasons why learning Islamic history is crucial to the Ummah today. But before we start, please remember to like the video and to leave us a comment. This would really help us on the YouTube algorithm, inshallah. Furthermore, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to keep up with our latest videos. Jazakallahu khairan. First, a little context. The reasons put forward in this video are based around a model known as AIM, which stands for Acknowledgement, Inspiration and Misconceptions. Each of these components underscores the importance of studying Islamic history. Now, without further delay, let's delve into these reasons. Reason 1. Acknowledgement. As the famous medieval historian Ibn al-Athir said, when Allah wills something, He prepares the means for it. This profound wisdom underscores the importance of recognizing and learning from our history. Essentially, by acknowledging the events that occurred in the past, Muslims can derive valuable information that helps us navigate the present. As cliché as it is, history often repeats itself, and by delving into the history of Islam, we can uncover the following. Number 1. Patterns. Recognizing patterns in Islamic history reveals how the Ummah recovered from other periods of weakness, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided the means to pave the way for victory. Understanding these patterns can guide us in similar circumstances today, helping us understand our current trajectory and whether victory is near. Number 2. Perceptions. Examining them helps us identify the ignorance that existed in the past, such as amongst the polytheists of Mecca and the Mu'tazila during the life of Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Many of these perceptions still exist today with similar agendas, but by acknowledging these periods of history, we can fully equip ourselves to avoid repeating the mistakes of our ancestors. Instead, we can aspire to emulate the heroes of the past. Number 3. Building timelines. Studying history gives us insight of events that preceded and followed a given era. This can be useful in that we can highlight specific events and relate to them in our own era, or have a firmer understanding of what led to the current events in our own time. Moving on. Reason 2. Inspiration. Muslims can draw inspiration from specific events or individuals from Islamic history. Currently, the Ummah faces significant challenges, with recurring tragedies occurring almost annually now. As a result, we can find inspiration in the struggles of our ancestors. Whether when it came to facing the brutal Crusaders or the devastating Mongols who shattered the Khilafah. Despite these periods of great trials and fitan, our history is proof that the Ummah of Muhammad ﷺ always manages to find a way to overcome such periods, even when it appears that the entire Ummah is on the verge of collapsing. In fact, the power of recovery is even recognized by the Italian historian Francesco Gabrielli, who begrudgingly stated, "I have studied the Muslim world for many years, and I must confess that never before have I experienced such a sympathetic comprehension and respect for a civilization whose faults and failings need no emphasis, but which possessed inspiring qualities of endurance, dedication, self-sacrifice, amazing elasticity, and here it is, powers of recuperation, and an unyielding faith in the absolute supreme law. These qualities, often misconstrued in adversaries, deserve recognition." Now going back to his comment, powers of recuperation, here he is referring to the Ummah's remarkable ability to recover after difficult setbacks or challenges. And this is a Catholic Italian historian and not a Muslim. So with this, we can feel inspired or more reassured that the Ummah will find a way out of its current crisis that it is in. However, inspiration can extend beyond tales of struggle. For example, it can also make us feel proud of periods of prosperity under Sharia law, and grant us worthy role models, such as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the Sahabah, al-Khwarizmi, Salah ad-Din, etc. Now, just an additional note before moving on. Remember, the more you read about someone or dedicate your time to him, the more you feel attached to that individual. Let us choose our role models wisely, ya ikhwa. Reason 3. Misconceptions. Unfortunately, the reality is that if you do not study your own history, then somebody else will. Now, there are some well-meaning individuals who will teach Islamic history in a positive light. But the problem with this is that this could indirectly lead to confusion and misconceptions. With that said, the bigger danger is when Islamic history is being taught by a hypocrite, an ignorant person, or an Islamic Orientalist, with the intention to deceive the masses. And on such occasions, our own history becomes a propaganda tool against the Ummah. Right now, the Ummah is weak, and there is a determined movement out there focused on belittling Islamic civilization and its accomplishments, convincing the masses that the Muslim world has always been as weak and inferior, whereas we know that this is not true. Furthermore, in their efforts to attack Islam, we also see the promotion of nationalism or pre-Islamic history. For example, the glorification of ancient Egypt rather than the Muslim Mamluk dynasty of Cairo or the Ayyubi dynasty. Similarly, powerful lobbies and organizations are deliberately twisting Middle Eastern history to support oppressive regimes, and sometimes such propaganda exists from within our own Ummah. The commitment to belittle Islam and to discredit it from its own historical successes has gone global, and if there is no counter movement, our own Islamic history can be used against us. Therefore, it is time for the Muslims to study their own history and teach it with full confidence, allowing us to respond to the Orientalists, ignorant and hypocrites of this world. In conclusion, we need Muslim historians and Muslim historians to teach Islamic history from an Islamic perspective again. The study of Islamic history is not merely a hobby, but a vital component of our identity as Muslims. By acknowledging our past, we can better know our situation, draw inspiration, and combat misconceptions and propaganda. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.